I will call to order the meeting of the July 16th, 2019 meeting of the Development Waiver Review Committee. Would ask at this point for everyone, if they have any cell phones, to turn those off in order to facilitate this meeting going through effectively. First, I will introduce our members, and I will just state that we are a little down today. One of our, Braden, who's usually our sort of secretary, is out sick today, and Bruce Coyle is at a conference, and George Jones is on vacation, I believe. So to my right is Jason Phillips, our county attorney. I'm Ann Lippman, I'm the community development director. To my left is Lori Ashmore, the water system director, and to my far left is Frank Becker, the county administrator. The first item on our agenda is to review minutes from the June 18th, 2019 meeting. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at those? Would anyone like to make a motion on those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Baker to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
And we have a second from Ms. Ashmore. Is there any discussion on these minutes? If not, all those in favor of the minutes say aye.
Aye.
I think that's unanimous. I don't think there's any opposition to that. Our first item on the agenda, and actually our only item, is an item tabled from our June 18th, 2019 meeting. It is case number 2019-3-W, application by Quilusi Vineyards, Robert C. Gilbert, on approximately 40 acres for a waiver of minimum fire flow requirements, which is Development Regulations Section 4.1.3.6, for agricultural operation. Property is located in land lots 39, 40, 105, and 106 of District 3, Section 3, on a private road being north side of Blossom Trail, west of Farm Street. The address is 70 Blossom Trail. It was formerly known as Lot 39 Flower Farm Subdivision, and it is located in Post 4. Is the applicant present? Okay, if you would like to come up to the podium, and you will have 15 minutes to make any statements. Please direct those to myself as the chair.
Yeah, my name's Bob Gilbert. I think everybody here probably knows who we are by now. I also think that probably everybody knows all the underlying facts surrounding this, since it's been heard before, and we've had meetings and discussions on it. The only new information that I'd like to bring out today is that we have had a cost estimate done on running the water line from the existing fire hydrant, which you can see there on the cul-de-sac, 350 feet up the road going in. And that would get us within 500 feet of the back of the building. That cost estimate is around $35,000. Even though I really appreciate some of the department heads working with us to help us keep that down, that is a number that we just cannot come up with. It's something that I think you need to understand that when you're starting a new business like this is a startup business. Everything you have is in this. All our cash, all our collateral, all our time, and we're just a small family farm. So when somebody says, "Hey, you got to do something that's $35,000," it's impossible. We're leveraged to the point that we can be. We have an SBA loan. I've gone to the bank to see if there's more money available. That would require federal approval. None of that's going to happen. So we're in a real situation where this is a financial hardship for us that would be something that we probably could not overcome. And I also would like to point out, though, that if there was a fire in this building, which is a non-combustible building, by the way, the fire department is 7.5 miles away. If they did get here when they did get here, they could easily hook up to the existing fire hydrant in the cul-de-sac with the hose and drive directly to the building. Now, the difference between doing that and us putting a fire hydrant 500 foot from the building is only the driving time it would take to go that 350 feet, which is, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. We will agree, and this also is not on our civil plan, but we will agree to improve that road. That's already a field road going directly to the building, and they requested that we improve that by putting gravel on it. We hadn't planned on doing that because that was a green space. Part of our business plan was that was a green space for us, but we will agree to build that road to where a fire truck could get in there very easily, even though it's something that they could probably do today. So I think that the fact that there is some flow there, the fact that the difference in the distance is only 350 feet could easily be covered by fire hose, that there's a lot of reasons for this committee to give us a waiver. If you don't give us a waiver, I mean, this is a fact. We probably won't open, and we will be in big trouble because we're leveraged pretty good. So that's pretty much the bottom line. I don't want to belabor anything else that you already know about this. We've complied in every way with the fire department on all the stuff they require us to do, life safety plan, panic hardware, exit signs, all that kind of stuff, fire extinguishers. So we've tried to do everything we can. This is something we can't do. Any questions? Thanks.
Before we started this, I did fail to mention that community development staff has received no opposition or no phone calls on this. At this point, I do see we have representatives of the fire department here. Would anyone like to make any statements for the record?
Good afternoon. I'm Chief Pelfrey, also Fire Marshal here in Paulding County. The Paulding County Board of Commissioners adopted the 2012 IBC International Building Code. This is a state law that we are required to follow. I understand that you have some issues, but I cannot support this waiver. There are no obstacles in the way to grant this waiver, even on the fire marshals. He has the available water on a private hydrant. He has more than enough flow for the fire. And I know he talked a lot about the tactical challenges and things like that. We do have 1,800 feet on the trucks. You can't really talk about the tactical strategies with the code, but even that, that's only 3-inch lines on those trucks. You would need to lay dual lines in, and the 7.2 miles makes it even more, to me, it makes it even more important to have the closer hydrant, because that's a lot further to respond. You're talking at least probably a 10 to 12 minute response time, not counting setting up. So even though you don't really talk about strategies, there are some things involved in that, and it takes too long to hand jack lines. I mean, it's something that we just can't do, but you've got everything necessary there. Like I said, there's no obstacles in the way for him to do this, other than I know his cost, but that's everybody's cost. There were some stipulations in place. I think when you did the SUPs a couple of times, starting 2 years ago, to where you had to be within 300 feet of the building. We're going by the IBC. That pulls it back to 500 feet, and we allow that because it's 500. So even if he did that, we would support the 500 feet and everything that we went over with him in that meeting that we had. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Chief Pelfrey?
And the building is actually a Type 5 building. It's actually not a non-combustible building, though I know you're putting metal on the outside. I think your architectural drawing showed it as a Type 5 building to your architecture put on there, which is not a Type 5 is not a non-combustible building.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. I'll go ahead and ask if there is anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor of this application. If there is no one that would like to speak in favor, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition of this application? If not, I will close the public hearing portion of this meeting and ask if there are any questions or discussions amongst the review committee, or if anyone is ready to make a motion.
I'd like to say that based on the fact that there is adequate fire flow, and it's available to the site, and the minimum fire flows are also required by the rules and regulations of the state minimum fire standards, as well as the International Fire Code from 2012 that Chief Pelfrey just mentioned. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to deny the request for the waiver.
Okay, we have a motion to deny by Mr. Baker. Do I have a second? Second. And we have a second on that motion from Ms. Ashmore. Any other questions or discussion? If not, I will call a vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. There's no one else to oppose it, so the motion is denied by a unanimous vote of 3-0. That was the only agenda item on our meeting today. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Thank you. We are adjourned.